Welcome back to the deep dive. It's September 26th, 2024, and well, you could say things are getting pretty meta.
Literally.
Meta just wrapped their big Meta Connect 2024 event,
Happy.
and let me tell you, the internet is buzzing.
It's been unavoidable.
We're diving into a whole bunch of stuff today.
Yeah.
Articles, we've got analyst takes, even some charts for you, all because Meta's stock is, well, it's soaring.
It's been a wild ride.
And we're here to figure out why.
Absolutely.
Now, you might be tuning in as an investor, maybe you're a tech enthusiast, or maybe you're just curious about all the hype. Whatever brought you here, we've got you covered.
You've got something for everyone.
So I think we got to start with the headlines, right?
Yeah, let's break it down.
Zuckerberg gets on stage, and bam, new Quest 3S headsets coming in hot at $299.
Not bad.
Not too shabby, right? Then we get a glimpse of these. Get this. Orion AR glasses.
These are something else.
And Meta's saying some pretty bold things about these, calling them get this, the most advanced glasses the world has ever seen.
They're really aiming high with this one.
Talk about aiming high. But I gotta say, even with those flashy new gadgets, the real shocker for me was the AI stuff.
I think that's what's really got people talking.
Did you see that Meta AI already has almost 500 million monthly users? 500 million.
It's a crazy number. It's massive.
I don't even know what to say. That's just mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, it's what has investors truly excited, I think. Meta's figured out how to use AI to completely change its advertising business, which, as we know, that's where they make their money.
It's the lifeblood of their revenue.
Exactly, yeah. They're betting big on AI to make ads way more effective. Think about it. Targeting your interests, predicting what you might need, even creating whole ad campaigns just for you.
So you're saying those targeted ads that are already pretty good?
Does you wait?
You ain't seen nothing yet.
It's going to be a whole new ball game.
Wow.
Imagine like an AI that knows your shopping habits better than your best friend.
Yeah.
That's what Meta's going for.
That's both amazing and a little creepy.
A little bit of both.
So is this the future? Or are we headed for another tech bubble like, back when everyone thought the metaverse was going to change everything?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
I don't know about you, but this whole thing gives me a bit of deja vu.
It's like we're back in 2021 when everyone was saying the metaverse would change everything.
We saw the hype, the promises, and then...
And then the market correction hit and reality set in.
Exactly. Fast forward to today, and Meta's stock is practically doing backflips, hitting near all-time highs.
So the big question is, are we falling for the same trick twice?
Or is this time actually different because of AI?
It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And to answer it, we have to look beyond the hype and dive into the numbers.
Thankfully, we've got this technical chart from FX Open to give us some clues.
Okay, so walk us through this chart because, to be honest, technical analysis isn't exactly my forte.
Sure thing. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that Meta's stock price is approaching those all-time highs we were talking about.
That in itself tells us that investors are optimistic about Meta's future. But what's really interesting is the pattern this chart is showing, something called a cup and handle pattern.
Cup and handle. Sounds more like a tea party than a stock market analysis.
Right. It does sound a bit odd, but bear with me. Imagine a U shape, like a cup, followed by a slight downward dip, and then a bounce back up. That's your handle.
So some people see this cup and handle as a sign that Meta's stock is about to take off like a rocket.
That's one way to put it. But remember, charts are just one piece of the puzzle. They reflect how the market is feeling, not necessarily the true value of a company.
To figure that out, we need to look at what makes a company truly high quality in the eyes of a seasoned investor.
And wouldn't you know it? We just happen to have a prime example in mind. A certain billionaire investor who seems to think Meta is the real deal.
Because if Cliff Asness is betting big on Meta, shouldn't we at least try to understand why?
Ah, yes. We can't forget about Cliff Asness and his recent moves. This is where your deep dive takes us straight into the portfolio of a Wall Street heavyweight.
So we've got Cliff Asness, this Wall Street, I don't know what you'd even call him, titan legend.
Yeah, something like that.
Loading up on Meta stock. And he's known for his quality company approach to investing.
That's his thing.
So what does that even mean? Does Meta, with all this AI buzz, actually fit the bill?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? For someone like Asness, quality comes down to a few key things.
Okay, lay it on us.
First off, he wants to see, a solid track record of profitability.
Show me the money.
Exactly. Strong earnings, exceeding those expectations, that sort of thing.
Right, right.
But it's not just about what they've done in the past.
Got to look to the future.
Yeah. Asness also looks at growth potential. Is the company expanding into new markets? Are they innovating? Because for sustainable growth, you need to be thinking ahead.
Makes sense.
And finally, Asness really wants to see financial stability.
Can they weather the storm?
Exactly. He analyzes, their debt levels, their cash flow, how vulnerable the company is to those economic downturns. You never know.
Always got to be prepared.
Exactly.
So how does Meta actually measure up against these criteria?
Well, you look at their recent earnings reports and wow, stellar. Just stellar.
They're making money.
They're exceeding those analyst expectations, and not just by a little bit.
They're crushing it.
Yeah, they're crushing it.
So they're making money, they're growing. It sounds like they're firing on all cylinders.
It seems that way.
Does that make them a quality company in Asness's book?
Yeah. Well, on the surface, it looks like they're checking all the boxes.
Oh.
But we can't ignore the elephant in the room.
Which is?
The risks.
There's always a catch.
Right. Asness is known for his risk assessment, and Meta's got a few.
Like what? Give us the rundown.
Well, the regulatory landscape, for one. Meta's been facing scrutiny over data privacy. And then there's the whole antitrust issue.
Right, right.
And then you have the competition. Apple and Google, they're not just sitting around.
They're making moves.
They're making huge moves in AI and AR, VR, which puts more pressure on Meta to stay ahead of the game.
It's a tight race.
It really is. So
Right.
It's not a guaranteed win for Meta, even with everything looking up and Asness on their side.
So where does that leave us? We've talked about Meta's big AI push. Their stock's been on a roller coaster. And we even got a glimpse inside the mind of a Wall Street giant.
It's been a wild ride.
What are we supposed to take away from all of this?
I think the biggest takeaway here is that this isn't just about Meta. This is about AI.
Yeah.
We're at this crazy point in tech history where AI is, I don't know, it's on the verge of completely changing how we live and work and interact with everything.
And Meta wants to be the one to lead the charge.
Exactly. Now, whether they actually pull it off, well, only time will tell.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. That's it for today's deep dive. We dug deep into Meta's massive week, all the excitement, the doubts, and hopefully we came out of it with a fresh perspective. But before you go, we want you to ponder this. If you had 5 minutes with Mark Zuckerberg himself, what would you ask him about Meta's future? Hit us up with your burning questions because who knows, maybe it'll inspire our next deep dive. Until next time, happy exploring, everyone.